All right. Hello, guys. Welcome again to our today's session. So for today, we'll be making use of one of the online databases to just bootstrap a new application, and we'll be able to see how we make use of the reactive framework using Spring Boot to have the implementation within our Java application. So just to quickly get started, I'm just going to walk you through the database, and then from there we can be able to proceed, bootstrap our application and download it and import it within VS Code. So just get started, we are going to head over to, I'm going to open my browser here. Then we are going to head over to MySQL online MySQL sample database. So you're going to just search that. Then within this, we'll be able to have employee databases, but then I'm going to make use of the DVD rental database. So I'm going to search for Sakila. Just update your search to be able to be Sakila database. And with this, we are going to click on the first link here. Then from here, we are going to go under installation. Then we just need to download this particular database from this particular link, which is MySQL dev. So I'm going to just click this particular link here, and then we are going to proceed and download the zip file for that particular database. So I'm going just to click this one and download it. So once the download is ready, we'll be able to open it. So I'm going just to extract this one and have ideally folder, the extract from that database. As you can see, we'll be able to have two different files. One is going to contain the data, another one is going to contain the schema. Now, as you can see, for these two files, I'm going to open them once we are going to make use of them within our application. So quickly, as you can see, for the Sakila data, it is just the data insertion, but then the schema, it just has the create statement. So given this, that we need to manage this data in terms of how the databases are being created, what you're going to do, we are going just to make use of this file within our application, and automatically the database will be created. So another thing that we need to have is that we need to have MySQL server set. So I'm going to open my SQL server, and with this we'll be able to make use of create a simple database which will be used to do the importation of the data. So quickly, we can just quickly open one of the files for creating the schema. So you will just check on this one. I'm going to edit with the Notepad BW and just drag this one here. Alright, so I'm going to drag this one. As you can see, this is the descriptive file for the particular database. As you can see, it's going to drop the schema if it exists, which is going to be Sakila, and then it's actually going to create its particular database, which is going to be Sakila, and then it's going to use it. So what I'm going to do is actually leave this one as they are, and then we'll be able to make use of it as they are. So what are we going to do ideally for this particular case is that because we'll be able to create this particular database, I'm going to remove this, the first three lines, 36, 37 and 38, so that we can make use of the Spring Boot application, and then we'll be able to create that database dynamically from our side. So we're going to just create this particular as a database. So quickly, I'm going just to remove this one. Save that. So that is the Sakila schema database. But then all along we'll be making use of Flyway to manage that migration. So once you have the download ready, what you're going to do is actually bootstrap our application. So we need to create a new application which will be used for Sakila. So what I'm going to do is going to enable some of the shortcuts. So I'm going to do Ctrl+Shift+P, and then I'm going just to enable screencast mode so that you'll be able to see the particular commands I'm running. So Ctrl+Shift+P, and then Ctrl+Shift+P, sorry for that. So Ctrl+Shift+P, and then we are just to search Spring Initializer. create a Maven project. So Spring Initializer, create Maven project. Then we are going to specify the version is going to be 3.24. I'm using Java, and for the package name I'm going to have this one as io.github.com that way, and then I'm going to call this one Sakila Reactive App. Right, so let me just say Sakila Reactive. I'm going to call it that way, then select a jar file, and then click 17 as the version of Java I'm using. Now for this case, we are just to add every particular dependency one by one. So we are going to just search for Lombok, and therefore creating the vouchers. And then the next thing that we are going to do, we are going to have the Spring configuration processor, so which is going to be Spring configuration processor, so used to generate the code completion. And then the next thing that we're going to do, we are going to make use of reactive, which is Webflux. So you're going to make use of Webflux. And then third is going to be the database that you're going to use. So I'm going to search for Flyway, select for Flyway, and then select the actual database that we are using. I'm using MySQL, so I'm going to search for MySQL and select that. Apart from that, the rest, those will be enough for us to be able to bootstrap our new application. So I'm going just to select those, and then I'm going just to select the parent folder as where I'm going to put my particular application. So I'm going just to create this particular folder, and then it will be able to open that within this particular section. So it's downloading the zip file, and then it will be able to automatically extract that for us. So we can just give it a few and wait for it to finalize. Once the download is done, we'll be able to click on add to workspace. So you'll be able to see that our new application has been added, and now we can just quickly check on what is available in terms of the configurations. So you can be able to see that we are using Spring Boot to Webflux instead of the web MVC, which is ending at web. So we are going to make use of Webflux, which is the reactive nature of the application. And then with that, we have the Flyway, which will be able to make use to do our migrations. And then we have the MySQL database connector, which will be used to connect to the database on that. So the other thing I just forgot is actually, I think I've forgotten something. We needed to have the added to DBC dependency added, but then we can proceed and add that one in a few. So the next thing, you can see that we have the configuration processor, we have Lombok, we have the tests dependencies with us. So the next thing that we are going to do is actually add the additional dependency, which is going to be just Control-Shift-P, and then says add starter. Just search for add starter. So you'll be able to see Spring Initializer add starter, and I'm going to add another additional starter for this case, which will be, I'm going to search for R2DBC. So you can be able to see that this provides a reactive relational database connectivity to persist data in SQL stores using Spring Data. So I'm going to add that, and then click, and then I'm going to proceed adding that. Then you can be able to see that our POM file has been successfully updated with that additional dependency. Now, looking at this and our previous POM file, in that we missed adding that in one go, then we need this particular dependency, additional dependency, which is called IO async whenever you're working with MySQL. So we need to take that one and have it within our POM file here. Then additionally, you're going to pick our previous dependency, which is going to be the Spring JDBC. So we need this particular added dependency in our new project. So we're going just to have that. So all this, we require them. So because here I have the last two dependencies being test dependency, I can try and migrate this one above and put them just immediately below the Spring Web Flux. So I'm going just to have them there, and then you can be able to see that now we have the MySQL dependency. Also, I can just try to put them together so that you can be able to see the chronological order. So we have MySQL dependency, and then the IO syncer, and then we have the JDBC, then now Flyway for managing our migration scripts, and then from there we'll be able to proceed and have this. So that's the first thing that we need to do. All right, yeah, so that means we have bootstrapped our application. Now in the next, I'm going to show you how we can be able now to configure the downloaded files and put them into the application and configure it to create the database on its own.